All right, I'm Zach Foster, senior contributor for the Libertarian Party of Nevada, and I am here with Libertarian presidential candidate John McAfee. First of all, can you just give us a quick once-and-for-all pronunciation of the name?
My dad said McAfee, but then he was incorrect about a lot of things.
That's horrible. Anyway, we've got a lot of really fantastic questions for you from different party members all over the country. So the first question I would like to ask you is, why are you running for president?
I'm running for president because I view the gravest problem facing America is the cyber war that has already been declared against America by numerous sovereign nations, and we are ill prepared for it. In fact, many within our government are not even recognizing it. I've been a cybersecurity specialist my whole life. Everybody in the cybersecurity field is panicked at the state of ignorance within our government and within many of the Democratic and Republican candidates. And I'm stepping in because I didn't see anyone else doing it.
All right. Another question from a reader. Will you deport illegal immigrants and enforce laws against businesses that hire them?
I will not, because I do not believe in the concept of illegal immigrants. Our entire country, and I suspect that everyone listening to me, your parents came from somewhere else, unless you are Native American, in which case I will leave my number at the end and you can call me and we can discuss this. Otherwise, you came from immigrants. Our country was founded on the concept of open arms. And we need to document people who come into the country because I have to be documented and you have to be documented. But beyond that, what do we need? Is it a lack of space? No, I'm an off-roader. I have traveled the literally hundreds of thousands of square miles of arable land in this country that no one is occupying. So is it space? It can't be space. What is it? Language? They will learn a language no matter where they come from if they are immigrants in order to assimilate into the society and get jobs. So I don't see a problem. And if any of you do, email me or call me and we'll talk about it. But no, I will not. Absolutely not, throw, quote, illegal aliens out of the country.
All right. Assuming Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders do not win their party's nomination, how will you help their supporters see the light of our message?
Well, I believe that everybody in the country is a libertarian. I truly believe that. The principles are so simple that to not know that these are the principles of your own life would be impossible for me to believe. The principles are we don't harm one another. We don't take each other's properties, and we keep our agreements. Nothing can be simpler, surely. And if any of you don't believe that any of those principles are necessary for a sane society, then maybe you're not a libertarian. But if you do believe all of those, then you are. And so how do we get the supporters? We let them know who the reality of themselves are. Because the Republican Party and the Democratic Party is a mask that people wear. And they weave a veil that we believe is the truth, and it is not.
Who specifically should not be allowed to own a firearm?
I don't think that we should limit it at all. I mean, I think the head of the household or someone over the age of 21 should buy a rifle if he wants to teach his 12-year-old son how to shoot. Beyond that, do we restrict it to only the sane people? Who gets to define sanity? The government? Me? Who? This is the problem with we can't give it to the criminally insane because who defines criminally insane? If we take someone off the streets because they're derelict and we start giving them drugs to make them passive and they turn kind of crazy, why is that? I don't know. So I don't want to restrict guns to anyone. Now, if someone does get a gun and does something violent with it, then they go to prison like anybody else. But we cannot be the moral judge as a government of other people.
All right, last question for tonight. From what the global war on terrorism is today, this campaign stretching Lord knows how many countries, how does the military situation change ideally under President McAfee?
Well, the first thing is we bring all of our troops home from foreign countries because we cannot stamp out terrorism by future hostilities. I mean, our hostility as the American nation created terrorism. It did, by dropping bombs and interfering in the internal affairs of foreign nations and creating suffering and anger and frustration. You don't know. If you had lived under the American abuse, perhaps you would be strapping a bomb to yourself. But we're not going to help it by continually bombing them. and wiping out this cell and that cell and saying problem over, because it is an ideological problem that cannot be wiped out with bombs. Only through actions of understanding and compassion, like bring our troops home. And secondly, we have a failure in American intelligence. We're operating in the 30s, trying to find out where terrorists are by listening to individual phone conversations. The world has changed way beyond that, and we need a new paradigm.
All right, John, thank you very much for the interview. Now, where can people find out more information about you?
Go to McAfee2016.com, and everything should be there.
All right, and you're listening live from the California Libertarian Convention in Los Angeles. John McAfee and Zach Foster out.